Jamil Jaffer joins me now. Jamil, let's get into this. When Iran attacked Israel, half the rockets they fired failed to launch or crashed. Now they've maybe had time to fix the problems. So could they come back stronger?
There's no doubt that Iran could strike back stronger against Israel if they choose to do so. It would be an unwise move. Israel is obviously going to respond. They had 300 missiles launched at their territories, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, as well as these drones. That's a massive attack. Now, it's true that Israel was able to knock down 99% of those devices, but the fact is Iran responded in a massive way from its own territory. Israel has no choice but to respond. If Iran hits back, this is going to start a big war. That is inadvisable. By the way, a war that Iran is going to lose.
About an hour ago, the president announced new sanctions on Iran. Now, they're not very strong, and he doesn't touch their oil exports. But is he going to use this as an excuse? You don't need, Israel, you don't need to retaliate against Iran. Look what we're doing now. Is that part of the equation?
You know, Stuart, that's exactly what the president has been saying since day one. He's been saying Israel needs to back off, this thing needs to stop now. But of course, imagine if the United States had 300 missiles launched in its territories, 110 ballistic missiles, 185 drones, and 36 cruise missiles. I mean, we would not just stand by and say, well, that's fine, no big deal. We'll take that, and even though we knocked them down. Israel has to respond. And they can't allow Iran to set a new normal for attacking from their own territory against Israel. So there will be a response, and Biden's diplomacy and sanctions will not solve that problem.
How many large-scale attacks could Israel withstand from Iran?
Well, that's an interesting and important question. They obviously have the ability to knock down these missiles. The problem is they're going to run short of interceptors at some point. The United States has an obligation to our ally to continue to support them with these anti-ballistic missile interceptors that are a key part of the Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow systems that were so successful in knocking down these missiles. And of course, we have U.S. ships in the region that were helpful as well, and the Jordanians did some work here as well, too.
Jamil, I want you to take a look at this poll. When Biden took office in 2020, 93% of Americans trusted the military. That number's gone down to 81% as of 2023. Why that decline in confidence in America's military?
Well, you know, we've gotten used to being safe here at home with two oceans to protect us. But the truth of the matter is our military stands post overseas every day, every hour, protecting this nation. And the reason we're losing confidence in our military and our law enforcement is we've seen politicians from both sides of the aisle attack our law enforcement system, attack our military, attack our intelligence community, and undermine it at every turn. That is not a good situation for our country, for our nation. We need to recognize we are a world superpower, and what allows us to be a world superpower and act like one is our military intelligence community. It's why it's so important, Stuart, that we pass the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It's why we support our allies in Israel and Ukraine. And it's why Thomas Massie, as Griff was saying, frankly, wrong on national security at every turn.
But we look weak to foreigners, don't we?
We do. We look weak to our adversaries, and we look like a not a strong friend to our allies. We've got to back our friends and be a foe to our adversaries.
Got it. Jamil Jaffer, thanks for joining us, Jamil. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Stuart.